Guys, and we're back here at the GameSpot stage, live at E3 2014. I'm Shaun McInnes, your host for the morning. I'm joined by Michael and Bernd, some of the guys from Dead Island 2. Guys, you debuted that trailer the other day. The Dead Island franchise obviously has a history with very dramatic, very exciting trailers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's always an opportunity to show off what you're aiming to do with the game, try to establish a certain tone, a certain look. What were you guys trying to convey with this trailer?
Well, I think the most important thing for us is, as you said, it's a really big change in tone from the last trailer. The first trailer was amazing, and it set a really great tone and narrative zone right. It was really important for us to set the new tone and the new direction in this trailer, and just get everybody on board with our and Deep Silver's new vision for this franchise.
Did you say vision?
Yeah.
Oh, you said vision.
I said vision.
Yes. We're on stage. It's okay to say vision.
Yeah.
No, the thing what we're aiming for is, you know, we're all gamers, and we didn't work on the first game, and I think we were in the same boat like everyone. You know, this amazing trailer came out of nowhere, and somebody said, hey, look, you have to watch that trailer. And I watched it and I said, oh my God, take my money, I'm going to play this game. And then it turned out that the game was slightly different, but still really, really, really good. But there was a slight disconnect between, you know, the tone established in the trailer and what the game portrayed to be. And when we sat down and started thinking about what are we going to do with Dead Island 2, we said, you know what, everything has to set the tone right from the start. The setting, the trailer, the characters, everything. And that's why we decided to go for something that is more fun.
Yeah, fun, humorous.
All right, cool. So if you guys have any questions for these guys here, feel free to send them my way in the live GameSpot chat beneath the video player, or you can tweet me questions. I'm at smcInnes on Twitter. Now, obviously, from that trailer, I gather Venice Beach in the Los Angeles area is sort of a setting for the game. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're trying to best represent California as everybody would imagine it, particularly us in Europe would imagine it on a postcard. It's the setting that everyone goes for. So we went for the most picturesque, probably the most bought postcard in California from tourists. And we just thought that would be the best setting, again, to say, this is where we are, this is the tone, and it just feeds into that with the color and the vibrancy. It's, yeah, the most fun we could get from it, I think.
It's kind of like when you Google California, you take the first 5 pictures, and that's it.
For sure.
Now, at what point did you guys decide it was okay to go with California? Because technically, not an island.
Technically not. I've got a couple of really
he got a really nerdy answer.
I've got a really nerdy answer.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, do you want to?
Are you going to tell me that California is culturally an island?
No,
metaphorically?
People can Wikipedia this now, so they can start going. But no, Wikipedia this, and actually the Spanish were the first people to get there. They saw the land coming away. The Spanish actually put it down as an island for a good 70, 80 years or so in the 16th, 17th century. That's the lame Wikipedia answer. The answer that we've got in our fiction, of course, is that California has been completely separated from the rest of America at this point. The virus has spread from Benoi in the first games. It's made its way to the mainland, let's say, and in response to that, They've sectioned it off. They've effectively made an island out of California. So.
It's an island in the Sea of Dead.
Yes.
So, okay, so metaphorical island. Yeah. I can buy that. That's fine.
Right.
I'm totally on board.
Cool, you're on. We're good.
So the original Dead Island, obviously, one of those games that is very well known for blending first-person action with very deep RPG systems. How are you guys looking to pick that up and move that combination forward?
You go. Yeah. Well, no, obviously it was one of the biggest things that we all loved about it at Jaeger, and we just thought, what would be, how could we augment that further? What's going to serve us really well? Like, one of the best things about, again, going back to California, was the kind of survival RPG-ness and having all the opportunity to level up and go. In California, the setting just gives us so much more variety for that. When you're in Benoi and you've got all like the improvised weapons around, you've got your paddles and you can level those up. Suddenly in California, we've got so many more opportunities for that, because suddenly you've got your giant department stores, you've got your garage full of power tools and things like that. So we can really, just using California as a base, expand on all of those elements. We get so much wealth from it. It's been really great.
One of the questions that we've been getting here on Twitter is about Jaeger's history as a development studio, because obviously it's on the surface, it seems like quite a departure going from Spec Ops: The Line to Dead Island 2. And I feel like, even if they're two very different types of games, I'm sure you always learn something here and there from previous projects that you carry forward. Is there any sort of like, what did you guys learn from that game that you want to bring forward here?
I think that one thing that Jaeger brings to every game that we make is a consistency. That we think really long and hard about what is right and what is not, what fits. And in Spec Ops: The Line, that was a very serious tone. And now it's supposed to be fun to play and like a holiday in paradise, in the most iconic place on Earth, California. And I think that one thing that we bring to the table is that we think really long and hard about everything we put into the game. Like what classes, what genders we have in the game. Are the zombies diverse enough? That was a really long discussion we had, Do we have the right split in ethnicity and gender and everything else in our zombies? I kid you not. We had heated discussions for weeks about that, with people saying, no, I'm not working on this. There has to be a Hispanic zombie in the game or I'm quit. And that's the place Jaeger is.
All right.
And also we were quite tired of sand.
Right. So don't spend too much time on Venice Beach. Move it inland is what you're saying.
Everything's there.
Maj Wood in the GameSpot chat is asking, as a new person to this series, how are they going to get adjusted to it? Do they need to have played earlier games in the franchise? How are you going to make sure that it's welcoming to somebody who might not be familiar with the story?
It's the same universe, so it shares some things, like the background, the universe, the playful nature of things, but it's not a narrative sequel. So it starts fresh, new heroes, new location, new weapons, new enemies, all brand new. So you don't have to play them. What we hope is that people still play Dead Island 1, the original game.
Yeah,
if you go on Xbox Live, they play. We do that a lot, for reference. If we do something and we think, hey, wait a minute, how was that in the original game? It's almost impossible to play without somebody dropping into your game.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool.
Zyphone in the
was
chat.
Was that an answer, actually?
I think so.
Works for me. Zyphone in the chat is asking about vehicles. Because, California, especially Los Angeles in particular, it's one of those places where it's impossible not to own a vehicle. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them around. Yeah. How do those feature into the game compared to earlier ones?
Well, obviously, that was a great thing to be able to do. Again, coming to the US, we suddenly have this wealth of American car heritage to dive into, and that's so much fun. We've got a really talented group of guys, and a particular guy in particular at work at Jaeger on those side of cars. He's a great car fan, but he was so excited to get involved with the American cars. And it's something that we're bringing to each class as well. So each class can have a specialized version of a real solid American car. And we just really want to expand that into the RPG of the game. And it's something, again, we really want people to play, and I would really love people to come just see more of that before I go too deep.
And we have toy vehicles. So every every class has their own vehicles, which fits the personality. Berserker, you can imagine what kind of a car is good for, like big, bulky, beefy guy. But we also have toy vehicles, and my current favorite is the little what's it called?
The remote control car, or the
no, the little one with a golf cart.
Oh, the golf cart.
Golf cart.
The golf cart.
It's my current favorite.
Yeah, you can't do California without a golf course, of course. So.
All right, Pop U on the GameSpot chat is asking about the combat system. The original Dead Island featured an alternate control input for analog-based swings, where you could swing the analog stick around to kind of control your direction. Are you guys doing anything like that? What's the control scheme like?
No, we have just one.
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
So how would you describe it then?
How would I describe that? It's really good.
It's really great.
So trigger-based
It's
attacks.
trigger-based.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually played around with an analog system, like controlling hands and everything, but that felt too much like work.
It's tough to get right. You have to really want to play the game that way, because it's such a huge investment.
There's some things that you can just naturally get into with either buttons or a trigger system, these kind of like more natural combinations, and start feeling a rhythm out for the combat.
Yeah.
That's one of the most rewarding things about it. I mean, analog system, hey, they're great for the right game, sure.
Right, absolutely. And with that analog system, it was great when I played that way in the first game, and it was great when I was taking on 1 or 2 zombies, but when a horde of 10 or 12 was coming after me, I jumped into the options screen, switched to the standard one, because it was too much to handle.
You need to get fast. You need to get fast with them.
Yeah. Oh, man, a lot of questions here about Dead Island 2.
Yeah, go on.
Controversial.
A hard question?
One. Yes.
All right.
Get controversial.
There's too many questions to actually see.
It's a good thing, right? I hope so. I do think so.
All right, here we go. Question, will you be adding a customization element to cars, i.e. mounted guns, bladed wheels, anything like that?
That sounds super exciting. I know a guy back at Jaeger who would definitely agree with it, and I would like that person to come see it at PAX later this year.
Ooh.
It's kind of a marketing yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a marketing yes.
Okay.
And an invite to come play the game. So.
All right. Well, it's better than a we're not ready to talk about that right now kind of answer.
Which is
also that's a marketing maybe, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
a
a marketing maybe.
This is the marketing yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So the class system, is it more or less kind of the same thing? You choose from 4 different characters.
Yeah.
You have 4 different abilities.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got the 4-player classes. We've got you correct me if I mess up the names, but we've got the speeder. And the speeder lady, she is very fast and very nimble with bladed weapons. We've got the Huntress, another lovely lady, and she is more of a range specialist, so she can help you out with the crossbows, all your firearms, that kind of thing. We've got the Berserker. He's a big, strong fireman, sledgehammer wielding dude. He's your tank class. He's your area.
Like me.
Yeah, just like Bernd. And he's the guy you're going to want with your 12 zombies, those kind of scenarios. And then we've got our support, which is the Bishop, and he's the guy you're going to go to for healing. He's going to be doing very big area damage effects and things like that. So we keep the same class structure as Dead Island and keep it within the realm of making sure that there's a clear role for everybody to play and just different ways to interact with the zombies and each other. So.
All right, cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the stage here. Any
Thanks for having
ideas
us.
yet when you're planning to release the game?
Sorry?
Any idea yet when you're planning to release
Spring
the game?
2015.
Spring 2015?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Come to PAX, check us out.
All right, guys, you heard them. Come to PAX, check it out. So that was it. That was Dead Island 2. We're going to get to